In the beginning of the drama first, we get introduced to our male lead, whose name is Ming. Ming is a very good doctor, and on top of that, he is very handsome. Meanwhile, our female lead's name is Qin Fei. Qin Fei is a superstar. She had many dramas recently that became very big hit, but along with that, her luck was a little bad in this matter. She would often end up getting herself into controversy. Now, in the beginning of the story, they show us a scene from 5 years ago, when Qin Fei was not yet a celebrity. Back then, in a foreign country, Qin Fei and Ming came face to face for the very first time. And it was like Ming fell in love with her at first sight. After that, a disaster happened there, a bomb blast, in which Qin Fei got very badly injured. In the next scene, the story shifts to the present. In the present, Qin Fei is just walking out of an airport. We get her introduction here this year. One of her dramas became a very big hit. In that drama, she is not the female lead, but she is the main villain. Her character became very popular, but at the same time, people started hating her a lot too, just like they always do with villains. Meanwhile, she gets a call from her assistant, who tells her, "Please do not come out from the main gate right now. The media is waiting for you." Because someone has published photos of you and lawyer he together, and the angle of those photos is making everyone talk about how you, just like your drama character, are trying to steal Mr. He away from his wife. The moment Qin Fei hears this, she switches on her emergency mode. She immediately goes to the restroom, changes her outfit, and tries to sneak out from the back exit to fool the media. But she crashes into a reporter, and everything falls apart. They recognize her and start chasing her. Now she is in quite a panic. Her assistant had told her, "Go to the basement, there is a black Audi there. I have booked that car for you, because right now I myself am stuck in a traffic jam." But at that time there were 2 black Audis parked there, which is why Qin Fei gets confused, and while running from the reporters, she ends up getting into Ming's car by mistake. Ming stays completely calm. He had already seen that reporters were chasing her, so he drives her away. On the way, Qin Fei gets a call from her manager Ren, who tells her, "How many times have I told you? This world is not kind. You tried to help Jean, and look where that has landed you today." Actually, she had gone to meet lawyer He only to talk about Jin's issue. But in all of this, Jin's name never even came up, and poor Qin Fei got stuck in the controversy instead. She also tries to contact Jean, but Jean replies that she does not want to get involved in this kind of trouble. And the moment Qin Fei sees that reply, she blocks her, because now she wants no contact with her at all. A little while later, Qin Fei gets a call from her assistant, who asks, "The driver told me you still haven't gotten into the car." The moment she hears this, she realizes she has gotten into the wrong car. She immediately takes out her pepper spray and attacks Ming. She says, "Tell me the truth. Are you a reporter or a crazy fan? Are you kidnapping me somewhere?" She also tries to search his suit for a recorder. He calmly says, "Don't make me file a sexual harassment case against you," because she was searching through his shirt. He then reassures her, saying he was on his way to catch a flight that has already been delayed because of her, and even shows her his ticket booking. She thanks him, and he drops her off on the road, but then leaves. However, this highway had no traffic at all, and it did not seem like she would get a taxi anytime soon. She is standing there feeling quite hopeless, and then Dr. Ming himself turns his car around and comes back. He had realized she was not going to find any transport here. He was now risking his flight to drop her off. She keeps thanking him again and again, but then she notices a pillow in his car, and on that pillow was a photo of Qin Fei. Seeing this, Dr. Ming gets very flustered. He was actually her biggest fan, but he did not want her to know that. To cover up the awkward moment, he turns on some music, and that song happened to be from Qin Fei's own drama. Qin Fei immediately goes back into self-defense mode and uses the pepper spray to make him stop the car. In the next scene, both of them end up at a police station. Qin Fei's claim was that this crazy fan tried to kidnap her, but the police checked everything, including the camera. Qin Fei had entered his car on her own free will, and he had his flight details proving why he was at the airport. The manager Ren says, "Sorry, our Qin Fei is a little innocent," though actually, he was quite angry at her for jumping from one problem straight into another. He was being very sweet about it, but Qin Fei was just giving Dr. Ming the most deadly look. Ren then tells Ming, "Sir, please don't take this badly. Our Qin Fei has a very good heart. The hospital where you work, in the welfare department, she has donated many times. Every year, she donates 1 million. Please forgive her just because of this goodness." He also asks her to apologize, and she gives such a terrible sorry. After being told many times, she cannot get the word out of her mouth, so she writes, "I am sorry" on a tissue and hands it to Dr. Ming. He found all of this very cute. He was her fan, after all, but he did not want to show it. After that, when he goes to the hospital and checks the records, he finds out she really does donate 1 million every year. On top of that, her manager had given his card saying, "Sir, if you ever have any problem, contact me, but please let's settle this here before filing any case." And poor Qin Fei was sitting there looking very sad. Her assistant was trying to cheer her up, while manager Rin was just angry at her, saying, "Since morning I have been attending so many calls. Everyone wants to cancel their contracts with you. How many times have I told you, being too kind and helping people more than needed will land you in trouble?" At the same time, the manager was thinking about how to fix her image, and then he gets a call from Dr. Ming, who wants to meet him. Meanwhile, we are shown Dr. Ming at his hospital, where he is very popular for his good looks. Along with being handsome, he is very kind-hearted and sweet. He does a lot of welfare work, but one center of his hospital needed a gamma knife, a very expensive instrument costing 2 million, and there was a serious lack of funds. So the idea came to him, why not talk to Qin Fei's manager and get a donation from her? Along with this, we are introduced to Ming's friend Dr. Yu. In their conversation, we find out that Ming was actually once a surgeon, but something happened, and for the past 5 years, he has not performed a single surgery. Next, they go to meet Run and give him a proposal. They say, "You have to make a donation every year anyway, so why not get it done early this time through Qin Fei, and this time we want 2 million instead of 1 million. Ren gets worried hearing this. Qin Fei was already stuck in a controversy, but at the same time, a way out of that trouble was also starting to appear. Because Dr. Ming had said that in return, they would invite her to their hospital as a special celebrity. She would personally come and hand over the donation in that area, hand over the gamma knife to them. The media would be invited too, and if she wanted, she could also do some volunteer work with them for a month or so. Rin likes this idea. This way, Qin Fei's image could improve, and a 2 million donation was no big deal for her. He says yes immediately. Meanwhile, Dr. Ming goes home and frames the "I am sorry" tissue paper and keeps it.so. Now Qin Fei is traveling by bullet train to another city along with the hospital staff for volunteer work. That city was in a very remote area. The staff did not know that Qin Fei was also traveling on the same train. The staff and nurses there start talking about her controversy, and were saying very bad things about her. Qin Fei does not take any of it personally, but when an old woman starts saying bad things too, she really feels like going over there and smashing their head. But Dr. Ming was hearing all of this and feeling very bad. His humor was also very good. He immediately calms that girl down by saying, "The only difference between you and this photo is that you talk too much." Actually, he could not stand anyone saying bad things about Qin Fei anymore. After that, we are shown in a flashback that the manager had convinced Qin Fei for all of this with great difficulty. He wanted her to use this opportunity to better her image. It was not an expensive deal at all. But Qin Fei says, "If I do volunteer work, I will do it from my heart. I do not need to use media reporting or any of this to better my image." Even her manager had gathered the media outside the airport, so there could be some coverage about Qin Fei doing medical welfare work. But Qin Fei dodged all of that and quietly left by bullet train so that no reporters could reach there. Now, when they arrive in that village, Qin Fei calls Dr. Ming over. Ming was driving a car and taking her toward that hospital, which looked very far from the airport. On the way, Qin Fei talks to him a lot and says, "I know very well that there is a crazy fan hiding inside you. Even though you are trying to hide it, let me tell you one thing. I will never fall in love with my own fan." But at that moment, a disaster strikes. It was a desert area, and the sand there starts moving very rapidly. Dr. Ming somehow drives fast and turns back on the road, but they see that many people in that area had been badly affected. Even a small stall had fallen on some people. As soon as everything settles down, they rushed to help the people there. Everyone else was in a better condition, but a small girl had gotten trapped under a structure. Ming and Qin Fei both go to help her. She tells her assistant, "You call the ambulance and help the other people. This little girl, Dr. Ming, and I will handle ourselves." Actually, something sharp had gone near her knee, and it needed to be removed immediately. Dr. Ming does all of this very quickly, but a little while later, rain starts falling there. So the two of them together start covering the girl from the rain until help arrives. For quite a long time, they keep covering that little girl with their coat. And in this difficult situation, Ming keeps looking at Qin Fei and feeling very happy. He had never even imagined that such a dramatic girl would be so soft-hearted on the inside. Finally, the little girl regains consciousness. They find out her name is Zhi Zhi, and she is a runner, an athlete. So she was very worried that her leg should not be damaged. She was getting very distressed about this. Here, to keep the little girl awake, Qin Fei starts singing a song. And this was a song that was bringing Dr. Ming childhood memories. He used to have a friend who would sing this very song to him. A little while later, the rescue team arrives and takes the little girl in the ambulance. Qin Fei was completely exhausted and she faints. Ming picks her up and carries her away. The next day, as soon as Qin Fei opens her eyes, she remembers everything. She was first sad that her favorite leather jacket was now ruined because of the rain, but she was happy that because of it she had helped a little girl. After that, she goes on her rounds in the hospital where she was doing welfare work. First, she goes to visit little Zhi Zhi, and here she sees that Dr. Ming and Zhi Zhi were both watching the very drama in which she was playing the villain role. Because of that villain role, people disliked her, and Zhi Zhi was one of them too. Zhi Zhi says, "This villain overacts so much." And Dr. Ming also says to make the girl happy. Yes, I also think she needs to learn acting. Now Qin Fei had heard all of this and was quite angry at Ming. But she comes inside and starts talking to the little girl without taking any of it personally at all. Because the little girl liked the main lead of that drama. Qin Fei says, "She is actually my good friend too, and I can introduce you to her, but in return you will have to take very good care of your diet." Along with this, we are introduced to the second couple. Qin Fei's assistant's name was Ning, but because of her nickname, everyone called her Coffee. And here Dr. Yu calls her milk tea instead of coffee just to tease her. A little while later, Qin Fei goes and asks Dr. Ming about Zhi Zhi's condition. He says she needs surgery very soon. She asks if he will perform the surgery, but he immediately changes the subject. It seems like there was a very deep wound in his heart related to surgery. He says, "I do not do surgeries, another surgeon will come to do this." Here, Qin Fei's hand was hurting, so he starts checking her hand and tells her, "If you get physiotherapy for 2 to 3 days, you will be completely fine." Ming always used to take care of her without her saying anything. He would notice everything on his own. Meanwhile, Coffee would always go running to Dr. Yu whenever she needed help with any issue. And today, she also records a video of him and blackmails him saying, "I will post online how you look shirtless. Otherwise, fix my cup mug." And Dr. Yu always found her behavior like this very bad. He comes and tells Ming, "You know, everyone makes negative comments about that actress too." And Qin Fei, who is already negative enough, her assistant Coffee is even more negative than her. "She is eating my head." But Ming could not hear a single word against Qin Fei. He just walks away from there. Qin Fei used to help everyone with many tasks in the hospital and spent as much time as possible with little Zhi Zhi. Zhi Zhi was an orphan. One day, she comes out of the hospital and is standing in the lawn. She sees no one is around and a spotlight is also falling there, so she starts dancing right there. And at that very moment, Dr. Ming standing at his window also sees this scene. He also notices that a little while later Qin Fei gets a pain in her waist, after which she stops dancing and walks away. Now she reaches the kitchen and sees there was chicken soup made there. She really wanted to drink that soup. But Dr. Ming says, "Consider this your own, don't hesitate at all. Actually, my friend Dr. Yu made it, and we will drink a little. He won't even know." After that, they start talking. Ming tells her, "You dance so well. Why are you an actress and not a dancer?" She says, "Because acting pays more money." But it was very clear that this answer was not the truth. Ming says, "While you were dancing, I saw a very strange shine in your eye." Qin Fei does not stay behind either and says, "You too, why are you a doctor and not a surgeon? That one time when you treated Zhi Zhi, when you removed that knife, I also saw a very strange shine in your eye." And just like that, their conversation ends right there, when Dr. Yu arrives from upstairs and catches them both red-handed drinking his soup secretly. Poor man. Nothing was left for him. After that, we are shown in a flashback that Qin Fei was actually a very great dancer. She used to participate in very big competitions and would often win too. But 5 years ago, she had left all of this behind because of some medical reason. In passing conversation, she finds out through a nurse that Zhi Zhi's surgery is about to be performed, but the surgeon has not yet arrived, and she needs the surgery urgently. And Dr. Ming will be the surgeon. She is surprised because he had told her he does not do surgery. The nurse tells her his training was under the chief surgeon, and whenever he worked he did it very well, but nobody knows why he left surgery. On the other hand, we are shown Ming getting ready to go to the operation theater. He was getting very nervous doing all of this. After 5 years, he was about to step into the operation theater as a surgeon. As he is getting ready, a flashback is shown. memories come to him. Once he was in the operation theater and a blast happened there or some such accident occurred, because of which he had left all of this behind. And it seems like it left a very deep scar on his heart. Well, finally, Shirshir's surgery is performed and they come out and tell everyone that the surgery was successful. Qin Fei cared very much for Shirshir. She goes outside to get Shirshir's favorite food and some gifts for her. Quite a while later, when she comes back, she finds out that Ming is standing there very worried because Shirshir has gotten a very high fever. And if she does not regain consciousness soon, it will affect her leg and she will never be able to run again. Hearing this, Qin Fei becomes very emotional and says, "Do you even realize that if a person's dream is taken away from them, what do they survive on? Shirshir's dream should not be taken away. I think you are not even a capable surgeon. If you could not do it, then why did you perform her surgery?" She was taking out her anger on him in a way that seemed like her own past was coming back to her. The next day, she was standing there very worried, arranging some stocks, and Dr. Ming comes to her and tells her that Shirshir's fever has also come down. She has regained consciousness and is completely fine now. Her leg is in no danger at all. Hearing this, she becomes very happy and immediately goes to Shirshir. She used to take care of her, look after her every need. And Dr. Ming also noticed this. He found this side of Qin Fei very sweet. Now that same night, Qin Fei and Dr. Ming come face to face in the kitchen. Qin Fei is quite embarrassed and says, "Yesterday I said very bad things to you. I should not have said that. Actually, I got a little emotional about Shirshir because something like this happened with me in the past too." She tells him that she was a dancer and when she was about to participate in the most important dancing contest, at that very time a terror attack happened. She says, "Back then someone saved my life, but my dream was taken away from me forever. I feel like maybe that person should not have saved my life because living without your dream is exactly the same as not living at all." Hearing this, Ming becomes very sad for a moment because it seems like he remembered very well that it was he himself who had saved Qin Fei back then. But Qin Fei did not know that it was Ming. And because of what she said, Dr. Ming becomes very sad and starts thinking about why she said that, why she wished the person had not saved her. The next day, Dr. Ming was giving a demo to some patients in the hospital related to exercise, and he had kept Qin Fei there for the demo. He makes her stand in the same posture for quite a long time, and Qin Fei was feeling like he was taking revenge on her for her rude behavior yesterday. She was about to fall, but Dr. Ming catches her, and later she says, "You are so mean. I thought you were very sweet, but you were taking revenge on me." At that moment, an old woman comes there and says, "I think I have seen this girl somewhere." Then she recognizes her and says, "You are Qin Fei, right? The one who is playing the villain in the hit drama these days." And then she starts taking a photo with her too. Qin Fei tells her, "Please do not share this photo anywhere. Just keep it with yourself." But that lady was not going to stop. She made that photo popular everywhere. And now everyone knew that a mean villain lady had come to their hospital for volunteering. On the other hand, Coffee had again gone to Dr. Yu and was bribing him with some gift. She says, "Qin Fei is just like my sister. She is very tired. Please somehow get her 2 days off." As he is leaving, he tells her, "At 10 o'clock here the lights and water will be gone. Tell that boss of yours who is like your sister too." But Coffee forgets to tell her this. And at that very 10 o'clock, Qin Fei had gone to wash her hair. First the water goes, and then the lights too. In this situation, she slips and falls there. And Dr. Ming comes to help her. She tries very hard to hide herself in the tub, but he had already seen her. She says, "I don't need your help," and starts to leave. Actually, she was embarrassed. But then it occurs to her that if someone else sees her in this condition, it would be better to just take Dr. Ming's help. So he heats water for her, takes her to the rooftop, and using his own saved water, helps her wash her hair. She makes quite a lot of fun of him and says, "This is my shower head and you are my bowl." But Dr. Ming was very kind. He was taking very good care of her. After that, he also starts making noodles there. Seeing the flavor, she is very surprised. This flavor was her favorite and very few people liked it. She says, "What a coincidence that you eat this too." And then he makes noodles for her too. Along with that, he had also given her his coat so she would not feel cold. Now Qin Fei was thanking him for the noodles. He says, "No need to thank me. These noodles are yours anyway." And then it turns out that actually Coffee had taken Qin Fei's own noodles and gifted them to Dr. Yu to get some work done. Dr. Yu's noodles were taken by Ming, and now those same noodles had traveled around and come back to Qin Fei again. She says, In the hospital, everyone recognizes me and starts staring at me. They follow me around to take photos. Ming advises her, there are maximum 100 people here. Instead of hiding, just walk freely in front of all of them. What will happen? After taking photos, they will finally get tired of you, and after that no one will disturb you. You will become just like one of them. And then we find out that the Mid-Autumn Festival is coming soon. And that village always had a signal problem. Everyone was worried about how they would celebrate this festival when they could not even make a simple call, let alone a video call. But Qin Fei thinks of doing something special for the people here. Why not celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival themselves right here? She puts a lot of work on Coffee's plate, and Coffee goes running to Dr. Yu for his help. She was again giving him a gift, and this time it was milk tea. But he says, no, I like coffee. And she starts blushing thinking you like me. Now she takes his help from anything. Along with this, Qin Fei had gotten her share of work done by the patients themselves. She takes selfies with all of them, enjoys with them, and also gets her work done by them too. All of them together start doing decorations for the celebration there. Finally, in the evening they start their festival. Qin Fei comes on stage and starts singing a song. Everyone had thought that since she is an actress she must sing very well, but she sings so badly that she left even Doraemon far behind. And then rain also starts falling there. Everyone finds some shelter. Now Qin Fei was thinking, a professional will not leave her performance and walk away. And at that moment, Dr. Ming arrives there with an umbrella to rescue her. He never let her down. He always came to help her. Then finally she was sitting there very happily thinking people were enjoying her singing so much. But only Coffee knew the truth. Qin Fei asks her to show the video too. Coffee tells her, please watch the video on silent. And after watching the video, she does not even notice that she was singing off key. The only thing she notices is that because of the rain, her eye makeup had completely smeared. She was getting angry about that when Ming arrives and tells her, from such a distance people would not have noticed at all, so don't worry. And she says, yes, you made a good point. Why don't I sing for you again right now to prove it? But Ming did not want this torture and says, right now people are sleeping. Please don't disturb them. After that he starts checking whether she has gotten a fever from getting wet in the rain. And from him touching her hand, Qin Fei was blushing. She then checks his fever too and asks him, now why are you blushing? Their conversation is heard by Coffee standing outside, who starts getting suspicious about Dr. Ming. She goes back to Dr. Yu with a gift and starts getting information about Ming out of him, asking if he is some kind of creep, why he helps Qin Fei so much, how many girlfriends he has had. She finds out he was never in a relationship. Yes, but he had a very big crush on a celebrity. She starts thinking which celebrity, could it be Qin Fei? But he does not give any answer. The next day, Dr. Ming helps Qin Fei again. He takes her to a nature point far from the hospital. The excuse he made was that they would go help at a nearby clinic. But after finishing work quickly, they enjoy the nature. Here Qin Fei's foot twists, and then Dr. Ming carries her on a piggyback from there. She says, I never even thought doctors would be this strong. She even takes a photo of herself and him together. After that, he completely fixes her foot through his therapy. So Qin Fei asks him, you could have done this before too. Then why was there any need to carry me so long? Actually, Ming just needed an excuse to get close to her. We are shown a flashback when Qin Fei was in school. There was a kid everyone used to bully. They used to call him by the nickname Chubby. Actually, that kid was none other than Dr. Ming himself. And it was always Qin Fei who used to save him from the bullies and give him candies to cheer him up. Even once when he had a singing performance and he was very nervous, she danced along with him and always cheered him on to boost his performance. And then we come back to the present. Today, Dr. Ming was looking very excited. And when he checks his laptop, it turns out that he was secretly making a fan promotional video for Qin Fei. But at that moment, a problem arrived. Coffee was there telling them that Qin Fei is nowhere to be found, and because of a landslide, the signals in that area had not been working for some time. They could not even contact her by phone. Then through the reception, they find out that a little while ago a call had come. Qin Fei's parcel had arrived. Maybe she had gone to receive it. But hearing this, Dr. Ming gets very worried because Qin Fei was not here and all the roads here looked exactly the same. He was afraid she might get lost in the valley somewhere. And in reality, something exactly like that happened. Qin Fei receives her parcel and on her way back she gets lost. Right in front of her eyes, a car accident happened. That car was completely destroyed. And then from that car a guy comes out like the Hulk, who seems like he will be our second lead. His name was Yans. Yans was trying to save the other person inside the car but could not get inside. Here he calls Qin Fei for help. She was very smart. She goes inside and starts cutting the seatbelt with a knife to save the other passenger. Actually, that passenger was a foreigner. foreigner. And while doing all of this, Qin Fei also gets quite badly hurt. But at that moment, petrol starts leaking from that car. Yans tries to save Qin Fei, but she insists on helping. And then they both together pull that foreigner out from there. Just a little while later, Ming also arrives there. And as soon as he looked, the car had already blasted. And the last place he had seen Qin Fei standing was right there. He becomes very restless and starts calling out to her. He was calling her not as Qin Fei, but as Xiao Qin Fei, which was her childhood name. And as soon as she appears to him, he immediately hugs her tightly, as if he was very afraid of losing her. Qin Fei also felt something very special about this, and he was getting very worried about a tiny little cut on her hand and starts taking care of her. At that moment, a voice comes from behind saying, "If you are done over there, please look at us too." Those poor two were almost dying. They were so badly injured they were about to die. But the doctor could not see them, only Qin Fei's tiny little cut was visible to him. Now Ming goes to the hospital and puts stitches on Qin Fei. He tells her it was no small cut. But Qin Fei notices that he is looking very rude and very cold. She keeps asking him why he is angry, but he does not give a straight answer to anything. After that, he goes to meet Yan. Yan's was actually his very old friend. In fact, it would not be wrong to say he was one of his best friends, because he knew all the details about him. He tells him, "I never even thought you would meet Qin Fei again like this." It seems like he knew exactly what status Qin Fei had in Ming's heart. At that moment, Qin Fei also arrives there and keeps asking Ming why he is not talking to her properly. And in between all of this, she takes out all her anger on Yan's injured leg. Then she hears his name, Yan, and something starts coming back to her memory. Actually, she had seen the fan pillow in Ming's car, so Ming had lied to her saying, "My friend Yan's gifted this to me. He is your big fan." She gets very happy and says to Yans, "You are my fan?" And Yans is left completely surprised. He takes the name of another celebrity and says, "No, I am a fan of that person." Hearing this, Qin Fei says, "So you were a fan and then became a hater?" And Ming just grabs her and takes her out from there. After that, he takes her out on an outing too. Qin Fei was not that innocent. She figured it out. "Actually, you only took your friend's name. In fact, you yourself are my fan." And he says to her from ahead, "I am not just a fan, Qin Fei." Qin Fei tells him, "I have a feeling that you are not just a fan, but have been admiring me for a very long time." And she was about to ask him how he knew her childhood name, but before she could ask him anything, Coffee arrives there and gives them a piece of bad news. That foreigner had regained consciousness and reveals that he suspects he is HIV positive. He had given his samples for testing, but the results had not yet come. And in between all of this, when he was injured, Qin Fei had come into contact with his blood while rescuing him. Hearing this, the ground slips from under all their feet. Qin Fei was very scared, but Ming gives her courage and says, "Even if he is positive, after coming into contact with him, your chance of getting infected is 1 in 1,000. But still, there was a chance, and this was a life-taking disease." He says, "If you get a blocker within 24 hours, then you can be saved." But within these 24 hours, he finds out about all the nearby medical stations in the surrounding villages. Maybe a blocker could be found somewhere. And if they got it from the big city, because of the landslide the roads were blocked, it would take 2 days to arrive and would have no efficacy left. Here Ming had a friend whose name was Dr. Bai. Looking at her, it seemed like she had already realized how important Qin Fei was to Dr. Ming. Somewhere she was also getting jealous. In their conversation, Qin Fei asks Bai, "You have known him for quite a long time. You seem quite close. Tell me, why did Dr. Ming leave surgery?" But she does not answer her question and says, "It was very personal, so I never even asked him." And as he was leaving, Ming had left a note for Qin Fei in which he had given her courage, and along with it a candy. He told her, "Wait for me before the stars fade. Before the next day begins, I will be back here." But this wait was very long. On one side, Qin Fei was very worried. On the other side, Coffee could not even look at her own face. She was crying secretly because she cared so much about Qin Fei. They had taken a signal receiver and were now trying to set it up. Now Coffee was so worried that Dr. Yu also comes there to cheer her up. The two of them had become quite good friends, and Yu tries very hard to make her laugh, to play with her, to somehow fix her mood. Meanwhile, on the other side, Qin Fei keeps looking at that same candy again and again. And then she remembers, this very same candy was gifted to her by someone in childhood too. And that person was none other than the chubby boy from school. And his real name also flashes in her mind instantly. His name was Ming Zizi. She realizes this is none other than the same Dr. Ming she knew in school too. And now she becomes even more restless waiting for him. The two of them had been friends in childhood. When their signal receiver gets set up, manager Rin gets a call from Coffee. At that time, Rin was sitting with another celebrity, trying to convince her to join his agency. And Coffee Coffee's calls kept coming again and again. This other celebrity also sees it. Her name was Chue. As soon as Ren picks up that call, the words escape his mouth very loudly. What? HIV? And Chue had already heard his words. She had figured out that this medical emergency call was not about anyone else but Qin Fei, because it was her assistant's call. On the other side, Qin Fei goes to Shi after that and spends some time with her. She was mentioning Dr. Ming again and again. So Shi also teases her saying, "It seems like you are waiting for Dr. Ming even more than your medicine." And in reality, it was something exactly like that. And then, quite a long time later, Ming had tried very hard, but he had not found the blocker medicine from any nearby village either. Ming wanted to check her wound and tries to hold her hand, but she pulls her hand away because she was afraid the infection might transfer to someone else. She tries to act very strong in front of him, but inside she was very scared. She asks, "When will my test results come?" Ming tells her, "Tomorrow morning." But she says, "Waiting when a person is restless, time passes very slowly." He says, "I will stay awake with you all night, because you won't be able to sleep in this wait either." After that, the two of them go to the rooftop, because Qin Fei had said she wants to see the stars. Ming had already sensed that Qin Fei was very sad. Her luck today was especially bad, because the stars had not even come out. It was a cloudy night, but Ming does something special for her. He brings star-shaped lights and says, "I will definitely show you stars." But those lights were very old and had some problem in the circuits. They would turn on sometimes and turn off other time. With great difficulty, they turn on once, but just as Qin Fei starts touching them, they turn off again. But Ming did not give up. He tells her, "You sit here comfortably," and then turns on his phone and starts showing her stars on it. She looks at it and becomes quite happy. And after that, he tells her, "You can make a wish too." But just as she was about to make a wish, his phone battery died. He says, "Don't worry, I have a power bank." But the power bank's battery was also dead. He was going to get another power bank, but here Qin Fei stops him and says, "You cannot fight my bad luck in any way." She had lost courage at this moment and says, "My fate is something like this. Wherever I go, I bring troubles for myself and for others. So please don't try anymore." Seeing her upset, Ming gets upset too and immediately comes and hugs her. He says, "Please don't say that. Good luck or bad luck, I am with you." And the moment he hugs her, those star lights turn on. And that foreigner comes to the rooftop with breakfast and hugs Qin Fei saying, "My test results have come. My HIV is negative. So you have no reason to worry either." Ming separates the two of them. And after that, Qin Fei was so happy that she hugged Ming too and also gave him a kiss. She says, "I feel like the moment you hugged me, I became lucky. Everything is becoming fine." And along with this, she calls him chubby and says, "I have recognized you now. In childhood, you looked very stupid, but now you have become quite presentable." He asks her, "That day I waited so long for you. You had promised to come to my singing performance and be with me. Why did you not come?" And right there, Qin Fei remembers that on that very same day her dad had passed away. He had gone to buy dancing shoes for his daughter when the accident happened. And because of this, everyone was saying bad things about her, that she turned out to be bad luck for her own father. But she does not tell this to Ming. She says, "Oh, come on, you took that promise so seriously? I had transferred schools, and after that I didn't even remember you." Well, now Ming starts to leave, and this breaks his heart a little that in her eyes, he was just a class fellow. The next day, we find out that the foreigner was actually a Frenchman who was very famous on social media. He does a live stream in which he tells how Qin Fei had saved his life, along with a rescue team member named Yan. And he also brings Qin Fei on his live stream. Because of this, her popularity starts touching the sky. After her social work and saving someone's life, everyone was only saying positive things about her, and just like that, her controversy was fading away. Seeing this, her manager was also very happy, and so was her assistant. Manager Ren immediately calls her and says, "Book your ticket tomorrow and come back," because she had to attend an event. He says, 5 days are still remaining, but no matter, no better chance than this will come. If you handle this event well, you will become as popular as you deserve to be. Qin Fei had absolutely no intention of leaving this social work halfway, but she had to go. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ming tells Yans, "Why don't you just tell her how you feel?" But he says, "I don't even know how important I am in her life or not. My life stayed right where it was when I fell in love with her in childhood. I could never move on. And I even saved her her life in Paris. He says, I will not tell her that it was I who saved her in that terror attack. Otherwise, she will never be with me out of gratitude. She had even wished that the person had not saved her life. I also cannot propose to her because she is a celebrity and I am a common person. Yan says, it seems like you are feeling insecure. And it was like a challenge to Ming. Now Ming takes her on one outing with him. The scenery there was very beautiful. They all enjoy together and take photos too. Once Ming had even told Qin Fei, I don't want to just be your friend or fan, I want to pursue you beyond that. But before she could take this seriously, he starts laughing saying, I am just joking. But later he had practiced saying, I love you in front of the mirror many times. And after that he goes toward her room. And here we find out that Qin Fei absolutely does not like goodbyes. She always becomes very sad doing that. This is why she would always move on without meeting people. Today her assistant also tells her, meet everyone in the staff and especially say goodbye to Dr. Ming. Coffee says about Ming, so she says, he is not that special. He is just an old classmate. It has been 18 years since we parted and we never even kept in contact. So what is the point of saying goodbye now? Who knows if we will ever meet again in life or not? And hearing this, poor Ming's heart break, thinking that in her eyes, I am only just a class fellow. But Ming's life revolved only around her. He gets so disappointed here that he quietly walks away. He was heartbroken. Meanwhile, Coffee was with Dr. Yu and had exchanged numbers with him. She had told him, I will post that video of you shirtless on a dating website. Otherwise know this, you are my spy on Dr. Ming's side. You have to give me every update about him. Actually, she was very serious about Qin Fei. Today the staff also tells Dr. Ming, why don't we give Qin Fei a farewell? She did such good work here, and anyway she was closest to you. But he says, for me you all are equal. Then before leaving, Qin Fei goes to Shi and gives her a photo of Jean and says, you are her fan, right? So keep this with you. Shi says, I want a photo of you too. I am your hater. So whenever I get angry, I will look at your photo. Qin Fei says, I know deep down you have started to like me. And there was really something like that. Because the moment Qin Fei started to leave, Shi started crying. She hugs her and says goodbye and tells her, you are very special to me. Qin Fei had thought that now was the time to meet Ming, but she did not know that Ming had heard her words and was heartbroken. He was sitting on the rooftop drinking. She finds out he is on the rooftop, so she goes there, but Ming had already left from there. Next morning, Qin Fei had to leave from there. She had not even seen Ming. She was going with a very heavy and sad heart when suddenly Ming appears before her. She was very happy seeing him. But Ming talks to her very coldly and rudely, so her mood also gets spoiled. She had even told Ming to come and see her off. She had also given him the car key, but he refused to take them. Now Yans comes there and tries to cover the situation between the two of them so they don't fight. But while leaving, Ming still cared about her health, so he tells her, if you ever need medical help, keep my card and contact me. But she also refuses to take his card in return. Now Yans was going to drop Qin Fei. As the distance between Qin Fei and Ming was growing, something similar had happened with Qin Fei a year ago too. She had a boyfriend whose name was Zhao, and manager Ren had shown her some photos of him and told her he was cheating on her. Hearing this, Qin Fei acts like she had already broken up with him before. In fact, she says, I dumped him. But in reality, nothing like that was the case. Qin Fei's heart was broken, and as she was leaving, she throws the ring he had given her into the dustbin. Then we come back to the present. Now Qin Fei arrives at a place to attend that event. Manager Ren was waiting for her, and here in private, she comes face to face with a co-star who was her rival. Her name was Wee. She deliberately provokes Qin Fei saying, you did all that medical welfare work only to better your image, didn't you? Qin Fei says some sharp words back to her. And actually Wee was recording all of this. She would misuse all of this against Qin Fei. Now they start getting Qin Fei ready because her publicity was going very well. The manager and team tell her, everything is going fine. You just have to take care of one thing. Control your anger and don't say anything unnecessary. Finally, the event starts. Qin Fei gets a very good welcome on the red carpet. Some report, and they also tell her, today this is a charity donation event, so how much charity are you doing today for show? Hearing this, she gets very angry. She says, you can doubt me fine. You will get a hot topic. But you people should be ashamed you are not talking about those doctors, nurses, and workers. She was saying all of this very harshly to the reporter. Actually, she could never control her anger and always spoke straight. Because of this, she always got into trouble. After that, on the red carpet, Xiao arrives. This was the celebrity Yans had a crush on, and here she was looking quite sweet. In fact, she comes and meets Qin Fei alone in the dressing room and tells her, don't worry, with time everything will be fine. And along with this she says, "You did a great job saving that foreigner, and there was another worker with you who did it too, a fan of mine whose name was Yan." Here Qin Fei also takes an autograph from Xiao Xiao for Yan, and Xiao Xiao very happily gives everything and also adds Qin Fei on WeChat. On the other side, Ming had also seen that as soon as she came back to her city, she had gotten herself into another trouble. He knew Qin Fei's fate was a little bad, and she was getting angry at herself in the mirror saying, "Could you not keep your mouth shut for even a little while?" After that, she thought she would be getting negative comments from everywhere. But today something different was on her phone, the group chat with her medical team. And in that everyone was supporting Qin Fei because they knew she had not done any of this for show. And they also tell her to open her suitcase. She opens the suitcase and sees that they already knew Qin Fei did not like goodbyes, so they had not seen her off. But in her suitcase, they had kept many memories and gifts for her. Seeing all of this, she starts crying with her mouth wide open. Coffee was surprised. "Everyone supported you so much. Why are you crying?" She says, "That is all a separate thing. But Ming, he did not even contact me. He also knows I am going through trouble." On the other side, Ming knew everything, but what could he do? His heart had turned to stone because of Qin Fei's word. He does not contact her, but in his heart he thinks, maybe she has gotten lost in her own world. It is not just me who cares about her. She is a celebrity. She must have thousands of fans. But if Qin Fei was waiting for anyone's call or message, it was only and only Ming. And here, when she finds out through the group chat that he had fixed the AC in the girls' dorm today, she gets even more angry. "He has time for everything except talking to me." On the other side, Ming was with Shi at that time, and Shi shows him a sketchbook that Qin Fei had given her, in which she had done very beautiful drawings. Seeing this, Ming keeps it with himself and also takes some photos of it. A little while later, Qin Fei finds Ming's WeChat account. She was very happy, as if she had achieved some great achievement. Coffee tells her, if you found his account, then just send him a friend request. But she says, "I will never do such a thing. I won't go after anyone. I am a celebrity. He will come after me." But looking at his account, she had gotten enough idea that he was deliberately ignoring Qin Fei for some particular reason, because all his recent posts were memories of her and Qin Fei. Now Qin Fei, on her manager's pressure, apologizes once in front of the media and says, "I should have spoken more carefully, and I was a little rude indeed." The next day, a notification comes on Qin Fei's phone. Ming had sent her a friend request. She immediately deletes it and tells Coffee, "I am not easy to get." But at the same time, we find out that Coffee and Dr. Yu are always chatting and on calls with each other all the time. Along with this, those people also finished their medical welfare work and came back to their city. They all lived in the same city. And for Shi's recovery, they also brought her along to the hospital here. Dr. Ming had sent a message through you that Shi wants to meet Qin Fei. Now Qin Fei would definitely come to meet Shi. Ming knew this very well. Now they were visiting Shi in the hospital. She had come to a big city for the first time. And here, when she sees a poster of Qin Fei once, she gets very happy and even buys that product. But a little while later, Qin Fei's posters are removed from there because that brand had now ended their contract with Qin Fei. Actually, poor girl's image had become quite negative because of her recent event. Now Qin Fei arrives at the hospital. Coffee had already gone outside before her, and her coat gets stuck in the car door. She felt like someone was coming to attack her, some hater of her, and she punches them. Later, she sees it was Dr. Ming who had come there to help her. Now he sits holding his eye for quite a long time and says, "I don't know when I will start seeing properly." And after that, he also requests her, "Please put eye drops in my eye too." She puts the eye drops in, but she had already figured out that Dr. Ming was completely fine. He was making excuses to get close to her. On the other side, Dr. Yu was also waiting for Coffee to arrive. He had made full settings and had imagined how he would get close to her through his stunt. And a little while later, Coffee also arrives there, and today she feels that Dr. Yu's behavior has changed quite a bit from before. On the other side, Dr. Ming was telling Qin Fei, "Here in this big city, the medical facility is much better. That is why I brought Shi here. Besides, she has no one else in the world except one uncle who is himself very busy. Here you can take good care of her." And Qin Fei also wanted exactly this. She then tells him, "Okay, then look me in the eyes and tell me that you are calling me here only and only for Shi's sake, and you have no personal interest in me." Now answering this, Dr. Ming was quite agitated because of course he wanted to get close to Qin Fei through the excuse of Shi. But here he notices that again and again Qin Fei was getting calls from her mom, which she was rejecting. Later she goes outside and talks to her mom, and they have quite a fight too. Her family wanted to come visit her, but she did not want them to come to her house. So she says, "I will book a room in a hotel near Shi. the two of us will spend some time together. But actually by doing all this she perhaps wanted to avoid her family. When Coffee was sitting with Dr. Yu, she gets a call from Qin Fei who tells her, I am going out for a while with Ming, don't worry. Go back yourself, I will manage somehow. But Coffee's very job and duty was to take tension for Qin Fei, so she starts getting worried. But Yu tells her, look, they're grown up, so let them spend time alone too. And let's also talk about something between us. Hearing this, she gets a little shy and surprised. And then Dr. Yu starts doing the very stunt he had been practicing a little while ago to act like a hero. But now it went a little the wrong way. The coffee in Coffee's hand spills on her. And this happened at the very moment when he was asking her an important question, and that was, if you don't have a boyfriend, then can you give me a chance? Coffee was blushing hearing this, and was just about to give him an answer, when Dr. Yu gets an emergency call and has to leave immediately. On the other side, Dr. Ming today brings Shi and Qin Fei to an apartment. That apartment was very good and very luxurious. Shi likes it immediately, and Qin Fei asks whose it is, and it turns out that it was Dr. Ming's own apartment. He says, it is also close to the hospital, and it will be convenient for you both to stay here. Qin Fei asks, you are asking a girl to stay with you? Have you no shame? Ming also tells her, when did I say I am staying with you? For these days I will stay at my parents' house or at the hospital hostel. You also in front of the girl. What things you start thinking. And then he starts giving them a tour of the apartment. That apartment was really very nice. Qin Fei wanted to see the view outside from the balcony, but he does not let her go on the balcony. The reason was that Qin Fei would see something from there and become sad. And that was her recent endorsement that had been taken back. From Ming's window, a big photo of Qin Fei used to be visible every day, but now it had been removed because of her recent controversy. Qin Fei also feels this. She gets sad for a moment, but then starts joking and says, Ming, you know you are my crazy fan. If you want a photo of mine, then make one right now and hang a big one on your wall. Well now, Ming keeps trying to convince her to stay, but she says, see, I am with Shi, and Shi is on WeChat with you. Whenever you need to contact me, whatever important matter comes up, just call Shi. After that they go for grocery shopping. Whatever unhealthy food Qin Fei was picking, Dr. Ming would put it back. And this keeps going on for quite a long time. When Qin Fei realizes what is happening, her head just spins. But Ming says, no, neither of you two can eat unhealthy, because from tomorrow Shi's rehab starts. She can only eat clean food. After that, on one side Qin Fei was buying something, and here some girls recognize her and start making mean comments about her. But Dr. Ming arrives to support her and covers her from those girls. And the biggest stand was taken for her by Shi, who arrives there and starts scolding those girls, saying, Qin Fei is very beautiful, and along with that she is the kindest person I have ever met. You people are not even equal to the bottom of her shoe. She wanted to fight with them even more, but Qin Fei takes her away from there. And after that Shi makes a face at her and says, please don't go out so much. I end up getting into fights because of people like this. Then in the evening, Coffee comes and leaves some of Qin Fei's belongings outside Ming's apartment. Ming very cleverly asks Coffee, why did Qin Fei shift here from her own house? Is she having money problems or does she want to save? Is she very stingy? And then hearing these words, Coffee falls right into his trap and says, this is not the problem. Actually, she had a fight with her mom. Her mom is coming to her house unannounced with the whole family, and she wants to avoid them. Actually, Qin Fei's temper was just like her mom's. The two of them did not get along. Well now, when Ming comes upstairs with the belongings, he sees that Qin Fei and Shi got along very well with each other. They would always fight and argue too, but behind their fights there was love hidden, and Ming often did not want to disturb them. Qin Fei looked strong from the outside, but the things she was losing and the negative things people said about her were really affecting her. Ming stayed at the hospital hostel at night. Next morning, as soon as he comes with breakfast, he hears the fire alarm outside his house. He immediately enters the house, entering the passcode. Turns out there was smoke in the kitchen and fire had spread. Actually, Shi had asked for breakfast and Qin Fei did not know how to cook anything, but she was still trying. Qin Fei was not about to admit her own fault. She starts fighting with Ming right there, saying, it was not that big an emergency. Why did you come in without telling? Don't you know two girls live here? At that moment, the security guards also arrive wanting to check his house. Ming was going to open the door. Qin Fei stops him, saying, if someone sees me here with you, that I am staying at your house. It will create a lot of problems for me. And Ming had no better blackmail opportunity than this. He says, fine, I am going to open the door right now. If you don't want that, then add me on WeChat. Qin Fei has to add him, but she says, I never thought you would turn out to be someone who takes advantage of situations. He says, I was not like this, but you forced me. After that, they take Shi to the hospital. Here, Qin Fei was making her practice walking. Both of them were working very hard. They had decided that if Shi had no one in the world, they would be her support until she could walk properly. Here, whenever Shi put weight on that leg, she would feel a lot of pain and would cry very much about this. Qin Fei gets worried and discusses it with Ming. On the other side, Coffee had arrived at the airport, and there she does not know at first whose mom she is talking to. Qin Fei's mom asks her to take a family photo. She tries to avoid them, but a little while later, when she finds out that this is her boss's mom and she has come to receive her, she immediately starts trying to be very sweet. Now she was bringing them toward the house. On the other side, Ming tells Qin Fei that right now there is no problem in Shi's leg. All her bones and muscles are completely fine. If there is a problem, it is not in her physiology, but in her psychology. So they need to see a psychiatrist. Now they take her to a psychiatrist, and it turns out this was indeed the issue. She had gone through trauma, and because of that, she felt like even now she was having pain in her knee. She had developed pain disorder. The doctor tells them that you will have to support her as much as possible, and also that Shi was very attached to her dad and had promised him that she would go with him to the marathon. But now her dad was not in this world, and neither could she walk herself. Hearing all this, Qin Fei starts remembering her own childhood. She was also very attached to her dad, and then her dad had gone to give her a last gift, ballet shoes, and while giving that very last gift, he had left this world. Qin Fei starts seeing her own childhood in Shi's childhood.